What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Summer Gravity, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into another one of these videos answering your comments. So I'm just going to start right here at the top with Gouge1. I hope I'm saying that right. I haven't come across your username before, so I don't know if you're either new to the channel, new to the game, or just new to commenting, but welcome. So Gouge says, I've spent 750,000 glint. Okay, so I guess you're not that new to the game. On rewards this season on 150 major chests, 375, ultimate chests, and then minor chests, and haven't received one gold foil card, no legendaries either. In fact, top pull has been 2x regular epics. Very disappointing. Original spend after first season was only slightly better also. They can keep the fortune entries for all I care, as I can hardly compete with the amount of whales are getting, and I'm virtually no chance. So gladiator merits are little use to me. And they are as rare as hen's teeth. Don't need the hyped up shake for Rift Watcher gem pack either. Mostly useless one-off cards that will never sell. Maybe 10 to 20 DEC conversion. As you might be able to tell, I'm very unimpressed and underwhelmed with the so-called new reward system. Apart from the fact that you can get unlock scrolls to allow some unlocking of regular cards. Still left with a sour taste in my mouth though. Love your work though, Aftersound. Cool. Well, so sorry that you did not have good RNG in your pull, but this is why, for me, a majority of my glint is still going towards the reward draws. Cards are the most valuable at this point in the game from a playing standpoint, right? And while it could be cool to get, some gold foils or gold foil legendaries here and there, you will get chests just by playing the game. So spending on them to me is I know I did it in the video that you're commenting on, but I don't know. To me, it's not really worthwhile. And the thing is, I'll probably continue to do it. I'm just going in knowing, that I'm not going to get the value back from it. So my focus right now is on, leveling up my reward cards as quickly as possible, and then maybe transitioning back to those if I want to unlock reward cards, or if I want to just get these unbinding scrolls, or, play the lottery. But you can see that I got a decent amount of gold foils just from the reward jars. And at the end of the day, even if I don't get a gold foil, I'm still getting a card that I absolutely need right now because none of my cards are maxed out, and they probably won't be maxed out for a while. So that would be my suggestion. Not that you're asking for a recommendation, but that's just my general approach. Okay, so SPR Stoner says, also at current DC prices, it is profitable to buy more energy than it used to be. So is it time to change my wild format? Okay, that was the video. Interesting. So I would have thought with glint prices going up that it would not be very profitable, but I suppose you're right that many people are probably just coming in. They're winning tons of SPS, especially early on. So buying at the top is probably a good idea. Okay, I'll need to go and check in on that. All right, International Travel Channel, thank you for the comment. What the Pick says, Xbot is top tier. That said, if AWS fails, I run Archmage. All right, well, you got a backup plan at least. Your backup plan is my main plan. My backup plan is myself, and I am not very good at the game. Parham is back. Splinterlands is scam. Gotta love it. Thanks for being here, Parham. Pop says, Oxymoron Splinterlands is so fun that I bought it. Oh, okay. So this is in response to my wild format. So Wangmeister then responds, why are you here? And Rhineflesh comes in saying, not an oxymoron. Splinterlands is much more than the auto battler, and it's good because you're not forced to play 1 to 2 hours manually every day. No bots equals dead game, because most people would sell their cards. You have unrealistic views. And then Pomp responded here. So yes, it is unrealistic. Therefore, it is an oxymoron. I don't think that those go together the way that you think. But just like the same players that voted for the bot ban are the ones botting, banning bots has destroyed the economy of this game. Just goes to show, be careful what you wish for. So I don't understand. Are you pro-bot or anti-bot? You're kind of going back and forth here, Pomp. And you've been around for a while, so I'm actually curious to know. The irony of it is called as, yes, it's unrealistic, therefore it's an oxymoron. Game over. You don't even understand. Okay, well, all right. Play nice, guys. Play nice. I will say this, though, to Pomp. I think I recognized it when I was making the video. I said, oh, yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic that I am not, I'm letting the bot just run the thing. But to Rhinefleisch's point, the game and the project is so much more than just the auto battler. The auto battler is a fun part, and I do hope they keep on expanding on that and push it to levels where, or push it to a place where people can come in and play competitively without having to spend a ton, whether that's the Scholar program, whether that's Ghost Cards, or whatever the case is. But the rest of the ecosystem and economy that works around it is what fascinates me and what has always fascinated me. So I still go in and play several battles a day whenever I have energy available. And it's still fun to me, but we are in a situation where, in a sense, it still is kind of like a DeFi platform, right? So land really leans into that, but the game itself, until and unless they find a way to get around that, which I don't think that they will, but it does offer you the option, and I think that's what's nice. You can go play in modern format and play in a human-only league. The rewards are outsized compared to wild format. Granted, the amount of time, energy, resources, money that goes into playing competitively in modern is significantly higher. Okay, so Ryan Fleisch says, fractions of a penny. I want to rent a total of 1,750, so 1.75 million SPS for my accounts, which comes out to 12,250 DEC each week, so about $12, which is, okay, at 0.01, which is, okay, so you're giving me a bunch of numbers here, which is 382 at current price and 637 at peg. The main issue here is that it makes it more. Okay, well, so the thing is, you're trying to. But before I go to the rest of this, what you're trying to do is scale this up, right? So, and I know I'm not saying that you're botting. I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm just saying like you're scaling this up. I'm talking about this from the look of an average player, right? Somebody who goes in and you're asking them to spend X amount, right? And sure, maybe 1.75 million isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. So somebody wants to rent 5 million, that's a decent chunk of change. But not every player is going to be wanting to rent 1.75 million. In fact, I think majority of them are going to come in and rent lower. That being said, I don't want to stay into this because I already talked about it in the last video. If you guys really want to push for this, I'm not going to get in your way. I just didn't think that it was worth the time. But it seems like there are enough people. I can't tell, just being honest here, I cannot tell if it is a vocal minority or if there is actually a silent majority that really wants this. But at the end of the day, like, this is not a hill that I'm going to die on. So if you can push the team for it, I'm not going to say that it's a bad, I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing. Sure, why not? All right, Pomp says, if energy was a tradable token, it would not go to waste. If energy was a tradable token, it would be infinitely inflationary because people would just create new accounts. Although I will take that back by saying that I believe, Pomp, your stance has always been energy should be based on CP, which still makes it infinitely inflationary because there's new cards that come out every single year or day, right? If you just think about the reward cards that are printed, even if you remove the CP from there, the voucher cards that can be purchased, right? Or packs that can be purchased. So I understand where you're going. I just want to let you know that I understand where you're going, but I don't know that that's the direction. Sorry, Smurf says, I use XBot. My win rate now is 51% on all my alts. That sounds good. My win rate as of this morning was still 44%. Did you rent stronger decks? Less. I used Glint. I had level up the Rebellion reward cards. Okay, so you increase. Okay, so let me just go through this. Okay, so they're just sharing some tips here. Now, we got another username I have not seen in a while. So, ZLural Hit 3253 says, I wrote a big comment that was about, I want you to make, if you have the time and wants to do, an honest, unfiltered video about what you think the future of the game and do you believe it can rise again in a few years or even a few months? It will be a flop. Then I misclicked and refreshed the page. Oh, sorry, man, that sucks. I will try to be short this time. I'm a player since 2021, same as me. I love the art of the older cars and everything about the game, to be honest. Now it's not like that. I got the feeling that except the Frontier and a few other stuff that the team made for the average Joe and the new player, everything else is about the whales, or at least they can keep up with everything. I think they have to do some big changes or the game is gone. I really want to see a video with your thoughts about all of this. Okay, so P.S. Sorry for my poor expression in English and fairly long comment. I like your channel. If it wasn't for you, Dwayne, and Gathering, I would not even be interested. Well, I appreciate you being here. Don't ever apologize for your English. I understand, and I understand what you're asking for here, and I appreciate the fact that you're, we're engaging enough to leave a comment. So I don't know if I can make I'll see if I can make a separate video for this since it was something that you requested. I will say though that the general trend of where the game is headed is something that I am still very excited about. So to your point, I think you even called it out here. They, outside of Frontier mode, outside of and a few other things. Like the team has made everything essentially for whales. Well, the way that it used to be was everything was always made for whales, right? This was a very top-heavy game. And so for the first time, we're actually trending in a direction where this is going to be something that is much more accessible for the average Joe player, as you put it. So I like the direction that it's going. I like the kind of direction that Dave is taking the ship, obviously with Matt's guidance. And so I am very excited still for the future of where Splinterlands can go. Now, to your point, I think we need to be very clear about it can rise again is the word that you use, right? It can rise again in a few years. I don't know what that means. My assumption, right? I don't know. Let me be clear. I don't know what you mean when you say that. If I'm going to assume something, I'm going to assume that you mean, the value of assets going up, the value of SPS going up. Can that happen in a few years or even a few months? I have no idea. That's really tough to say. That being said, I do like collecting SPS. I do like collecting cards. I like the fact that I haven't had to spend a ton of money extra in this game, and I can generally take the rewards I get and refilter that back into leveling up my deck, whether that's through reward cards, whether that's through buying packs, or what I'm doing now, which is land. And so I love the expansive nature of the game. I love the direction that it's headed. Where it goes in terms of SPS, like will SPS ever get back to $1? I think it's highly unlikely unless we get 2021 like tailwinds. But I've tried to be very clear about this. Like, if you guys have not figured out how to make money from Splinterlands in the last 4 years, and I don't mean this to be combative, right, or dismissive, but if you haven't figured out how to make money from Splinterlands in the last 4 years, like I don't know that this is the project for you. I talk very openly about the fact that I take ice cream money regularly, or I'll trade DEC, right? Whenever I see DEC below peg, I'll usually collect a bit, right? Or I'll buy SPS, or I'll buy reward cards, or I'll buy something and then trade. Like, I don't talk about that stuff here because I don't want this to be an investing channel, because it's not. It's a gaming channel. But I do try to talk about a lot of things that I do see opportunities with. So if it is about making money, I still think that Splinterlands is not the area in which you should be playing, or at least investing, right? Like, there's too many types of headwinds, too many types of meta shifts. Like, I like it for what it is. We talk a lot in investing terms because it's fascinating to me, right? I looked at land and I was running the numbers there and thinking to myself, like, oh, okay, like this returns a 5 to 10% APR per year by just getting my land plots up and running. That's interesting to me. Not because I'm going to take my life savings and my investment money and plow it into Splinterlands, right? Like for that 5 to 10% return, but because what I have and what I'm doing in the game and currently shuffling, assets over into, that to me is fascinating because I can earn something on that. And so again, this is not about extraction, but like if you guys aren't figuring out how to, like, again, ice cream money. That's all I'm going to say. Ice cream money. So, I don't know if that answers your question. I do think that Splinterlands is headed in the right direction. If there's any game that's close to being Web 3, I think Splinterlands is a good Web 2.5, and I have not seen another project do it in the way that Splinterlands has. And probably the biggest thing about this, and I guess I can close the video out here because we're already 13 minutes. Probably the biggest reason I'm bullish is the fact that Splinterlands is not beholden to anybody else when it comes to money, right? They did this all bootstrapped. The team is in it because they love it. The community is in it because they love it. Will the market turn at some point? I believe so, but I don't even think it's going to turn in the way that people want it to. Like, I don't know that alt season is ever going to happen the way that alt season has happened in the past, right? There's just too many other things. The world is in a different place. But will people resort to gaming? Will people always be gaming? I believe so. Will people and collectors understand the value that something like Splinterlands has versus a lot of the Web 2 versions of these games? I believe so. Now, whether that, I don't think that means that, we're going to get tons of players overnight, but I do think we can get a decent chunk of players. And when I say decent, let me say a significant amount of players over the next months, years, that will add value to the game over time, believe in the thesis, and stick around for the long term. That is my thought. So Calbright here says, agree. The game is just being judged to ensure whales are rewarded and have rewards to sell. Constant adjustments to reward requirements. Again, one thing that really irks me is you need 25,000 more SPS to attain full rewards. Buy or rent that amount. You're being punished for not having 250,000. The wording needs to be changed. Again, so I appreciate the comment here. I know that I'm not going into the whole thing, but my thought still remains the same. Yes, it is not perfect, but it is definitely trending in a better direction than it was even just a year ago. I think the focus that Matt has had once he's come on board, or once he took the CEO position, and with Dave to kind of open this game up to the free-to-play aspect, like it's if you guys can zoom out, I do believe that there is a lot of value here in Splinterlands. And when I say that, understand that this is not an investing channel. I'm not talking about like a value of coming in and making a ton of money. There's other places to do that, and I would not even suggest crypto at this point, right? Like, so I would just say that, like, if that is the sole focus, that is the sole purpose, this is not the place. If you like playing a game and you like the idea of owning and collecting assets and cards over time, again, not even necessarily with the idea that they're going to go up in value, right? Like, I don't even know the collection value of my, or the value of my collection. Like, I just like the fact that I have these cards and I can continue to play for the foreseeable future, right? Even with the what's that called? The Wild Season Pass, I'm able to pay that. That's like $48 a year at Peg, and or $50 a year at Peg, and we're not even at Peg right now. Plus, all of the value that I've accrued in this game just by staking SPS, by the SPS that I earn, vouchers, all this stuff goes to paying for that anyway, right? And then I still come out on top. So it's not like I threw a bunch of money into this game. I am not a whale by any means. Go check my account, right? But what I've done is try to compound my value here over time. And I do believe, long term, again, not financial advice, but I do believe long term that will have some positive benefits. Is it going to compete and out return, the S&P 500 or Bitcoin? I don't think so. Definitely not Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is the hurdle rate. So like this is why all my extra money is going towards acquiring as much Bitcoin as possible right now. But that being said, I still spend money on entertainment, and this is entertainment to me. And hopefully that I think I'll give Keys I'll give Walking Keys the thing here, the credit here, where he said you should really look at it like a hobby. You spend money on a hobby, not with the idea that you're gonna generate and get rich overnight, but the idea that you can accrue value collecting whatever it is, right? And maybe that value goes up over time, maybe it doesn't, but at least you're not only valuing it in dollar terms, you're valuing it in the intrinsic value it gives to you as a form of entertainment, as a form of connection, as a form of social networking, whatever it is you want, right? Like, I still say to me, like, the biggest thing that the biggest impact that Splinterlands has had on me is the people that I've gotten to meet. And I know that's like such a like lame thing to say, right? It's such a kumbaya thing. Like, I don't even know, like, how do you quantify that? And I'm not trying to tell you guys to quantify that. I'm just saying that to me, it has value, right? There are people I have met through this game that have become very, very close friends in my life. And that's priceless. Like the old MasterCard commercials, right? That's priceless. So I have an affinity for Splinterlands. I want to be here. I want to continue to build in here, whatever that looks like. So long-winded answer. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.